Okay, I see that Abby, Abby's on. Hey, Abby. All right, so my name is Holly Giuliano. I am a senior team leader under Larissa's team, Edge. And actually, and I can say I'm a senior team leader as of right now. I hit it in December, and then you know how that goes. I didn't hit it, but I got it back for this month, so that's cool. And I've been a beauty advisor since November, so I hit that pretty fast with the help of Larissa. She's an amazing mentor. Got to give her a shout out because, there she is. Because she really is she goes above and beyond for her team. So I never would have hit that within 2 months without her. So thank you, Larissa. So thank you guys so much for joining me. I'm going to try to, let me just give you a little bit more of an update about who I am. I live in Orange County. I'm a married mom of 2 girls. They will be 10 and 13 later this year, which is so crazy to me. It's a big year for birthdays for my family. And I'm originally from Rhode Island though, so you'll hear a little bit of that accent come out, especially because I'll be talking really fast and looking at my notes, so you'll probably hear that come out. And I'm going to really just cover Instagram stories because what I was told, Amy was so nice to ask me to come on and do this, was that a lot of you guys said you had never posted to Instagram stories and you weren't really sure how. So hopefully this will help. And I do have a list of a few questions I wrote down that some of you guys had. And I will address those at the end. And I'm going to try not to look at the comments until the very end, just so I can stay on task and try to not let this go on for hours and hours, because I totally could. And I have notes, so I'm going to stay on task. But before I forget, and I'll mention this probably 2 more times, your challenge for today, whether you do it right after this, you just want to get it done, or by the end of day, is to go to your Instagram, if you have an Instagram, and go to your Instagram stories and post something. And we'll talk about that. And then you could hashtag something at the end. I'll think about that and I'll get back to you. So first let me just start with why should you be using Instagram stories? And I can, oh good. All right, thanks Abby. You're gonna regret saying that. I'll tell you that right now. But why you should post. Here's the deal. People like to see real-time, raw, unedited, imperfect you. They don't want to see, I think people are just tired of like the perfect photo and text. And let's face it, we're lazy. We have become a lazy society. We don't like to read anymore. So people just want to watch like little quick video snippets. And I'll be honest, a lot of people, including myself, I make a point to look at my feed every day, but I'll be honest, I watch stories way more than I look at my news feed. And we already know that with the algorithms, your pictures and videos that are in your news feed, like when I say news feed, like, you know, when you're scrolling, so the things that stay on your profile, a lot of people aren't seeing those because they're not showing up in everyone's feeds. So it's kind of like Facebook, whereas it used to be, you know, and those algorithms change all the time. So this could be different tomorrow. But you know, keep in mind if it's a really good story, you can always save it, and you can even right when you post it, you can actually share it to your feed and like post it as a video that will stay on your news feed. So we'll talk about that later. But that's always an option. So the main thing is you want people to connect with you, and the best way to do that is through just real-time little video snippets where people get to see the real, raw you. Okay, so that's your why. There's your why you should do it. Hi, Kendra. Hi, Chrissy. Hey, Vicki. Thanks you guys so much for being on. So the basics. Now, first, I'm also going to plug my, in terms of general social media, I'm going to also refer you back to the very first Monday motivation call. Leanne had asked me to speak on social media. And I'm telling you guys, if I can do that, and if I can do this video right now for the whole Willing Beauty corporate, like the entire network, you guys can go do a 15-second video on your Instagram. I'm telling you, like it gets easier, I promise. So I'm going to refer you back to that for just general social media, like how to share on social media. So refer back to that call. You can find it in your back office. And so I'm really going to focus on some basics with how, like if you've never posted and you're like, I don't even know what to do, I got you covered. Now, if you have your phone out and you're watching on a laptop and you want to pull it out, but kind of like what I said in my post earlier today, I'm going to be going fast because I don't want to keep you guys here for hours and hours. So come back to this. Even if you're like, you know what, peace out, I'm going to just come back later and watch it later. Totally fine. I get you don't want to watch me twice. Totally cool. So from your phone, now, if you don't even have an Instagram account, just go download the app and set up an account. Easy peasy. And I'm going to address a few things at the very end versus like regarding the different accounts, like whether it's a personal or business or this and that. I'll kind of address that at the end. But let's just say everyone has an account already. You're on your home page, on your kind of like your, I keep calling it the news feed. That's more of a Facebook thing. But your home page, you hit the little home button and you see all of anyone that you're following, you can see their pictures and videos, right? From that page, at the very top, you'll see the word stories and you'll see little bubbles going across. And those are people that have something up. Now keep in mind, stories are only up for 24 hours. So that's just something to keep in mind. But that's nice because like I said, it's real time. So you'll see the stories, and above that in the upper left-hand corner, I'm saying left, but your left is probably over here, right? You'll see a little camera icon. You'll click that and then boom, your camera opens up and now you're ready to start. So you have a bunch of options. You'll see that large circle at the bottom of the screen. That is where you're gonna press and hold or tap. I'll cover that in a sec. And you'll have a few options. So you'll see if you go all the way across the bottom, you'll see the words type, live, normal, a whole bunch of others, and then one more that I'm gonna cover. So type, if you hit the type, that means you can just literally type out text. So if you just want something that's gonna be text, you can do that. Oh, thanks, Larissa. Love you. You can just type something out, and that sometimes is very useful. The next one is normal. So to use normal, you can take a photo by just tapping that big button at the bottom of your screen. Just tap it once, it'll take a photo. Press and hold it down for 15 seconds. Now you've got a video. You'll see a little arrow below the word normal, swipe up, and now you can actually pull a photo or a video from your camera roll. So again, you could post a video, but if it's a 60-second video that's in your camera roll, it's only gonna show 15 seconds because that's your limit. So just keep that in mind. And it used to be that they only showed you your camera roll for the last 24 hours, but they've since changed that. Now you can go back and scroll for hours to like old pictures. Oh yeah, okay, good point, Amy. Yeah, definitely keep that Instagram update for sure. And you can even set your settings so that it'll update automatically. Okay, so that's normal. I skipped live. Live is in there. That's a different ball game. I would say go live if you are going to be talking for more than, a couple minutes or even more than like 3 minutes. Because I find like when people see lots of little dashes along the top, if I open up somebody's story and I see like dash, like I see 100 dashes across the top, and I know that that means they have like 100 different stories, I'm probably going to close it out and not watch it. That's just me. I don't know if, other people feel the same way about that. So if it's going to be a long one, just go live. And from what I understand, Instagram actually gives priority to live videos. All the live videos will kind of get priority, so your people will see it, and your people will get a notification when you go live. But I also caution you from doing it too much, because I have some people that I've unfollowed because I'm like, okay, you're going live like 25 times a day. I don't need all these notifications, so now I'm unfollowing you. So keep that in mind as well. The next one, so type, live, normal. I'm gonna skip a whole bunch. There's boomerang, there's some other ones, just silly ones. Play around with it, but the one I love the best is hands free. So that just means you don't have to press and hold the button. So you turn it, you type or scroll across or hit the word hands free, you tap the button once, and then it just goes. So you're hands free, you can talk for 15 seconds or whatever you're doing, and then it'll just shut off after 15 seconds. But here's a little tip. Now, I don't know if everybody knows this, but this was brilliant when I found this out. If you press and hold that button for a couple seconds, you'll see a countdown, 3, 2, 1, and then it starts. So it gives you a 3-second countdown, so you're not like this. Press it, right, because nobody wants to see that. So you press, hold it, you let go, you see 3, 2, 1, and then you start talking, and you don't look like you're just holding your phone and constantly going to and from the phone, right? Does that make sense? I hope this is not like too crazy or too fast, but those are the only ones I'm going to cover for right now. You'll see when you're on your Instagram stories, or you're filming or taking a photo, you'll see you'll see two little arrows in a circle. That is like just flipping the camera. So if you want it in selfie mode versus, you're taking a photo or video away from you. And then the other one, you'll see a smiley face with a couple of stars, filters. So just really briefly on the filters, play around with them, have fun. You can do it, until your heart's content. You don't necessarily have to post it. You can just have fun with it. Oh my gosh, you didn't know that, Larissa? Oh, I feel like this is just great. I taught Larissa something. That's awesome. But the filters, just be careful, because I kind of find some of them annoying, and I think a lot of people, it's one of those things. There's one filter on there, it's sort of known as the pretty filter, and a lot of people use it all the time. Not anybody necessarily here, just people I follow. And it's kind of, I think we have to be really careful doing that, especially because we're a skincare company, and I feel like it's false advertising if we're constantly using, the pretty filter and like smoothing out our skin. I mean, you know what? I'm gonna be 43 this year. Yeah, I got wrinkles and I got spots and whatnot. So, but that's why I'm using Willing Beauty, to get that better. So, all right, so how do you post? So you took your video, what happens next? Okay, so after you take your video or take your photo, so let's talk about, like, if you take the photo, boom, it's there, it's like still, and then it'll ask you, like, do you wanna post it or delete it? If it's a video, it will start to replay. So obviously if it's a video, you're probably gonna rewatch it, just make sure that it's all good. And then you'll have a few options. In the upper left-hand corner, you'll see an X, boom, delete it. It will never post. Then you'll see a little plus sign, add to your story. So boom, once you hit that plus sign, it is now added to your story. You can always go back and delete it. So if you just wanna play around with it, just play around with it. Nobody's gonna care. You can delete it right away, just have fun. You have some other options. You'll see an arrow. I'm just looking down at my notes because I'm using my phone for the video. So there'll be a little arrow down. It'll say save. So if you do a story, let's say you do a story or do a video and you want to post it, but you want to add some text to it, you want to like whatever later, save it. You can save it. It'll save to your camera roll, and then delete it out, and then you can always post it later, right? And it's perfect. It's 15 seconds because you did it on your Instagram story, like in that video, versus using your, the actual camera on your phone, if that makes sense. So you can always do that. You can save it, and then you'll see a send. So you can actually DM, you can direct message, private message somebody your story. Like let's say you do something, you want to do a video, send your friend a video, but not post it to your Instagram story. You just want to send it to one person or two people, you can do that too. Okay, in the top right corner, so now your video is up, your photo is up, you've reviewed it, and like I said, you can delete it, you can share it, you can send it to somebody. You also have some other options. And in the upper right-hand corner, you'll see a little square with a smiley face. You'll see a, what are the other ones? Oh, you'll see like a volume button, you'll see a pencil, and you'll see the letters A, uppercase A, lowercase a. 4 things, we're gonna cover them super fast. The first one, the little smiley face that's in a square, if you tap that, you're gonna have a whole bunch of options. There's stickers, you can add emojis. Again, use that stuff with caution, especially the stickers, especially some of the ones, like if you're new to Instagram stories, it might seem fun, but for those of us who have been doing them for a long time, like the bruh and tired and yes, like those are just, they're kind of old and almost like dated now, and like I would never use those anymore, really, maybe once in a while. So be careful with the stickers, but the 4 things that are super important to use, location. So when you hit that little square with the smiley face, you'll see location. You can tag a location. Oh, sorry, Larissa. Well, some of them, it depends. They're situational dependent, okay? Just don't overuse them, that's all I'm saying. Location. So this is super important for our Coast to Coast initiative, right? So let's say you live in an area where, well, let's just say, okay, so like for me, for instance, I live in California, I got Orange County, but I want to start reaching some more people in, Minnesota. I can type in the search bar, after I hit location, I can type in whatever town in Minnesota or just whatever, and I can tag that location. And so when people are watching the random stories, they can, like, so I guess I should explain this too. Again, a lot of this is you just kind of have to play around with it and not be afraid to just tap stuff and watch stuff and play around with it. But like, I live in Laguna Hills, so at the top of, in my search, when I'm in the search bar, explore page for Instagram, Laguna Hills pops up. So if I tap that, I will see every single person that tagged Laguna Hills, California in the last 24 hours. That's pretty cool, right? You can tag places. So like sometimes when I'm at the gym and I teach fitness classes, I'll tag the gym where I'm teaching the next day, like, hey, join me for PIO tomorrow, 10:30, and I'll tag the gym. And it'll show you, it won't show you who sees it, but it'll tell you how many viewers you have from the fact that you tag that location, if that makes sense. Okay, then there's the @ symbol mentioned. So you can tag a person, like if I want to tag Larissa's Willing Beauty page, I can tag her page and then she'll get that notification. And it also allows people to tag like her page. So for instance, actually this is a perfect example. Last night on my my regular profile, it's actually more of like it's my name, it's my fitness profile, that's the one I've always had. I actually tagged my Willing Beauty Instagram page and got a few new followers. Like, oh, by the way, my daughters and I have a page dedicated to sharing safer skincare, et cetera, et cetera. I tagged my page. People can just click on it right from my story, brings you to my page. Boom, I got a couple new follows. And then there's the hashtag. You can also do from the search explore page, you can search hashtags. So you can hashtag toxic free skincare or skincare regimen or whatever, you can tag things or hashtag things that people can then search for. And then the last one that I'm going to mention is just the poll. Poll is kind of fun. You create a poll and you type in a question. Yes and no will pop up, and just so it looks like you can't change it because they're kind of colored, lightly colored letters. If you tap right where the word yes is, you can put your own answers in. So you can make them funny, whatever. But that's fun in terms of getting people engaged. Like, hey, would you like more information on this amazing chemical-free sunblock? You can put in like, heck yes, or sure, send me the deets. So that way that's their only option. I don't know, I just threw that out there. Location, if you're hosting a local event. You could tag the town that you're gonna be doing it in. Bring people to that. Let's see. I think that's it. Remember with the poll, people love to am I still on? All of a sudden it looks like, I don't know what happened. Can somebody say something? Make sure I'm still on. It's not looking like, anyone? Reception in my house, I live in a hilly area. Sometimes reception is not great. I just want to make sure. Well, I'm going to keep talking. Hopefully it's still running. But if somebody could comment and say something, that'd be super helpful. But like with the poll, like I said, people love to give their opinions on things. So those are always fun. I need to remember to do that more often. Okay, so I got that all covered. Next up. Okay, so we have the little square with the smiley face, right? Right next to that is a volume button. You can just always turn off the volume. Like let's say you have some music, or I don't know why you would need to do that, but that's just an option. The little pencil, you can type right on, or no, I'm sorry, you can draw. So tap the pencil, you can change the color, you could circle something. And then the last one, the typing, this one's more important. You can type things on your picture and video. So this I'm gonna talk about for a minute because I think it's important. So keep in mind when you're on Instagram stories, so I'm kind of worried nobody has commented or I'm just not seeing it. I'm just worried that I'm not live anymore. Anyone? Shoot, let me see. Give me 1 second. I'm looking at my computer since my phone is showing me that nobody is on now. Like there were a whole bunch of people and now it's saying 0. Oh, you're on. Okay, thank you, Vicky. I guess it's just my phone. Okay, here's why text is good. You have like 3 seconds to grab somebody's attention and keep them on your story, right? If you have text on your video, it's gonna take them a couple seconds, right, for their brain to like read and register what it is you just wrote out. And as those couple seconds are going by, they're still listening to you. And now maybe like if it took a few more seconds, it's hard to grab somebody's attention in 3 seconds. So by having them read something, that's gonna keep them on a little bit longer. And you can use text that's like curiosity marketing. I talked about that on the Monday Motivation Call. But curiosity marketing, you want them like, ooh, what is she talking about? It can be funny. You know, Instagram stories is meant to be fun and playful. So be funny, be you, be real, grab people's attentions, you know, be vague. Like, oh my God, I got the coolest thing on Amazon. Of course, people are gonna wanna know what that is because we all love Amazon. We all love any reason to go and order something else on Amazon, right? So that's, there's an example of something you could say. But you want something, be vague, be exciting, be funny, get them to stay on and finish your story. I will say, like, I'm by no means an expert on Instagram, but I keep getting asked to do social media, so I guess I must be doing something right. But I will say, like, I go back and I look to see where am I losing people, and don't let that get in your head, because who cares? People, I swipe away all the time from stories, and it's nothing personal. It's sometimes I have to leave or whatever. So don't let that get in your head, but use it and learn from it. Like, where are you losing people? It might just be random. It might just be because you got to drop the kid off at school or whatever. But maybe your stories are going on too long, or maybe they're boring, or maybe you're not giving useful information. So use that and learn from it. But like the last couple of stories I've done, like I did kind of long stretches actually yesterday on both of my pages, and my retention, like from the first video towards the end, was actually pretty good. And it's, you know, it's not always that good, but it was really good. So getting back to the text, that's always good. And like, I'll add text maybe every couple, just again, trying to keep them on. All right, let me just make sure. So there's that. So that is kind of covered. I think I covered like everything within like the story, how to post it, play around with settings. You can go in. So when you, well, okay, let me so say this. After you've posted your stories, go back and watch them. Sometimes they'll double post, like one will double post accidentally. You can go and delete one. Or if you're watching it and you're like, oh, I'll redo them sometimes. Like I mean, I'm not gonna go on and on. Like I'll re-watch each one, but I might go back afterwards and say, you know what, that one is kind of useless. I'm gonna delete that one because I want to provide value to the people who are taking their time to watch me. So I want to make sure I am delivering good stuff. So rewatch it. If you want to close out, there's a little X in the upper right-hand corner. You just close out of it. Oh, here's another little tip that you can also share with your followers too. So let's say you do type something that's maybe a lot of text. And actually I should have done this yesterday. Like I shared some testimonials, like texts that I had gotten, but that takes a while to read. Now, I don't know, maybe you guys can tell me if you knew this already. If you press and hold, that will sort of pause it. So if it's a video, like I shared some texts that I had gotten, like I love Willing Beauty, but you know, testimonials, but it's gonna take somebody possibly more than 15 seconds to read it. They can press and hold it and it will pause it. They can read it, let go, and then it'll go to the next one. So you guys let me know if you knew that or not. I feel like it's common knowledge at this point, but maybe not. And if you're new to Instagram stories, then you probably definitely don't know that. But remind your followers of that. Like, hey, don't forget, you can press and hold if you wanna, like, you know, if you wanna read this, take some more time to read this, or better yet, screenshot it. They can screenshot it. So when you're looking at the list of people who are viewing your Instagram stories, you'll see the list. You'll see everyone's names. And from there, you'll see another couple arrows where you can save your story. You'll see an up arrow that, if you click that, that will actually post to your feed. So going back to what I said earlier, let's say you have an Instagram story that you just like knocked it out of the park and you're like, this needs to be on my profile forever, not just 24 hours. You have a couple options. One, post to your feed. You can, you know, add a filter there, post some text to it, add it to your feed. Great, now it will live there forever. You can also delete right from there as well. But the other thing in terms of sharing on your feed, or like sharing to your profile, there's something fairly new called highlights. So when you are rewatching your photos or videos on your Instagram story, you will see a little heart at the bottom and it'll say highlight. If you press that, you can create little highlight albums. So you can create an album of things that you think are really great that you want to live there forever. You don't necessarily want to put on your newsfeed. So just keep in mind, these are the things that are on your profile. So when somebody goes to your page and they decide whether they want to follow you or not, maybe they'll watch some of your profile videos and that will determine, so you want to make them good. So I have one on my Willing Beauty Instagram that's called Clean Finds. And so anytime I find, like Christy had mentioned, the chapstick, the SPF 15 that she uses called All Good. I was like, oh, I need something like that. I ordered some, I loved it, boom, I shared it. So the chapstick, I found a really great sunscreen for my body until we have one. Hopefully someday we will, but I found a great sunscreen. So I save things like that. You want to give value to your followers. You want to help people. You want to give them information, educate them, give them a reason to want to come watch your stories every day. That's the biggest thing right there. You want people to come find you and seek you out. And I've had people tell me that. And you want people to DM you. I get a lot of messages back from my stories, so I feel like I must be doing something right because they're engaging with me and either commenting or asking questions. And so, but regarding the highlights, so it's super easy. You just tap the little heart and you'll see a plus sign, add an album, you give it a title, and boom, you're done. And you can always take it off highlights by re-clicking the heart, and it removes it from the highlighted album. All right, so I think I was so close to the end. Don't forget your challenge. If you've never posted to Instagram stories before, your challenge is to post by the end of the day. Sound good? And when you're done, once you've posted, I'm gonna suggest you go do it right now, because we all know what happens, right? Our day goes on and next thing you know, it doesn't get done. Go open up your Instagram, share a story, share a picture, whatever, and hashtag IG star when you're done. You're an Instagram star, IG star. So just, let's see, what else, recap. What to post. Re-listen to that call that I did, the Monday Motivation call. Remember curiosity marketing. I talked about that on the call. Create curiosity. The 3 E's, again, talked about this on the call, but real quick, the 3 E's. Remember when you post something, educational, engaging, or entertaining. People like to laugh, so be funny, be real. Post throughout the day. Remember, this is real time. Instagram stories is meant to be real time. Be consistent. Definitely be consistent. Playful and fun, but informative and providing value. Instagram stories is very different from the newsfeed. Newsfeed, which is why a lot of people aren't even looking at it anymore, because it's kind of getting boring. It's like the same perfect photos, the same text. People don't want to read anymore. People like to watch real videos. They want to see the real you, not, this Instagram photo perfect version of you. So that's why Instagram stories I love them. I love that more than anything else. And so post by the end of the day, be consistent. Okay, so a couple really quick questions that Rona had regarding switching back and forth to your accounts. So if you go to Instagram and go to your profile, so in the bottom right-hand corner, you'll see your little profile picture. Click that and you'll be on your profile. Your name is at the very top. Click on your name and there's a drop-down box. So I'm currently logged into my Holly Giuliano account. I'm logged into my Willing Beauty for Generations account, and I'm also logged into my 12-year-old's account. So there's a little tip for you moms with tweens or teens that are on Instagram. You can actually log into their account through your account, and then you just can literally select which one you want to be logged into, but you don't have to re-log in, if that makes sense. You just can literally switch back and forth. I switch back and forth from the 3 accounts. So if you only have the one account, hit your name, you'll see a plus sign where it says add account, and that's where you can create another account. And so that's how I created the Willing Beauty account. And I'm kind of a rule follower. So like I had read the P&P and it was supposed to be Willing Beauty, whatever, for your Instagram name. So we did Willing Beauty for Generations, and like our thing is Generations of Beauty, I think. I should probably know that. So that's how you would switch back and forth. And then you can also, at the top right, you'll see there's a couple little icons. You can go into your archive. I actually just learned this. So this training has been helpful for me because just doing my little research yesterday, I figured this out. If you forgot to save a story or whatever, you can go back and look at your story archives. Nobody can see it but you can always go back and add, like let's say before highlights ever came out, before we had the highlights album, you can go back and highlight an old archived story. Like how cool is that? And then if your Instagram is a business account, you can look at your insights. So that's another, I'm not even getting into that, but you look at your insights, like what posts are getting the most traction, things like that. All right, I think that's it. Don't forget your challenge. Post by the end of the day and come back and comment. If anyone has any questions, just leave a comment. I can take these off now. I can't see. Actually, no, I can't. Once I have them on, that's what happens after you turn 40. Once I have them on, I can't take them off because then I can't read it all. So, hey guys, but if you guys have any questions, I could talk hours about this. I love social media. I love Instagram. I love Instagram stories. So ask away, DM me. I'm totally more than welcome to chat. And I know I've already gone way over what I was supposed to, but I hope it was helpful. It's hard to cover something so big in like 5-10 minutes. It's impossible. All right. Any questions? If not, I'm going to say goodbye and thank you for watching. And yeah. Thank you again, Amy, for having me. Super, super honored to be on here. And I'll talk to you guys soon. I don't see any questions, so I think, I'm going to just check real quick because my phone seems to be kind of a little crazy. So no, I think we're good. All right. Have a great day, you guys.